Okay, we're recording, and I'm excited about tonight. Our guest speaker. Let's see. Oh, okay. I made. Hold on. Good grief, spell check. Um, our guest speaker, Sydney. She is just a sweetheart, and I got to do a Zoom for her team not long ago. And when she asked me, I'm like, yeah, but you get to do one for my team too. So I was excited. She is just, doing incredible. She's a presidential diamond. I actually don't even know her full story. I do know she builds on social media, which is super cool and something that we can all learn and do. I've had a lot of fun getting to learn and try to figure that out. And so she's a presidential diamond, top like 30 income earner, you guys. And that's pretty crazy because I know this girl's a good decade younger than me. I don't know her exact age. Sydney will have to tell us how old you are. But I know she's a little young chicken. But man, it's so cool to see just, how different people do this business. And so I'm excited to get to hear her story along with some of her tips and stuff. So are you able to unmute yourself now, girlfriend?
Yes, I'm here.
Let me see. Talk.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear. Yay!
Okay, let me make sure. Okay, my laptop is fully charged. We're good.
Aw.
Thanks for having
me. Yay! Well, will you start off and share your story with us and kind of like how you found it works, how you got going, and then maybe tell us like what you did kind of to go ruby, diamond, take us through some of your beginning of when you just got started and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I'm pretty sure we have the exact same bed, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny. I think we might. I know everyone's laughing that I keep zooming in bed, and I'm like, yeah, we're pregnant.
You have an excuse. I don't.
Hey, it's a cute backdrop. Your bed's a cute backdrop.
Thanks for having me on, y'all. I'm excited to hopefully inspire y'all a little bit tonight and share some tips and just what It Works has done for me. It's been the biggest blessing in my life. So I'm 24. And I started with It Works when I was 20. So actually Monday is Surf and Turf and it'll be my 4-year anniversary. So that'll be pretty cool. And so, yeah, the reason I started with It Works was just somebody got the rap on me. And there's something so powerful about that, I swear, because I saw results within like 2 days. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do this. Let me see if I can make some extra cash. I was a full-time college student working a full-time job as well. At this point, I had changed my major in college like 4 or 5 times. Like I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And joined this business never expecting to turn it into my career or full-time income, but God obviously had different plans. When I joined, I really just focused on being a product of the product. So I actually was the most unhealthy I've ever been in my life when I started with this business. I was overweight. I was eating terrible, drinking a lot, living the typical college lifestyle. And, this business and just the people that I was around, they inspired me to be better. They inspired me to be healthier. They inspired me to start a more serious relationship with the Lord. And so this business has changed my life, not just financially, but, spiritually, emotionally, in every way possible. And it helped me to start, taking myself more seriously and dreaming bigger. And anyway, so like I said, I started using the products and I was using what we call the triple threat. And actually the cleanse wasn't out yet. So I used like the fat fighters, the greens, and the thermophyte. And I lost like 18 pounds over just a couple months. And that, of course, encouraged me to start getting back into the gym, living a healthier lifestyle. I had more energy because of the greens and everything. So I was just posting about that. And at this point, I was literally only using Facebook. Social media was a lot different back 4 years ago. Obviously, there weren't algorithms and, things like that. And I didn't know anything about Instagram, which now I'm mostly built on Instagram and not very much Facebook at all. But back then it was just Facebook. And so I was doing that, and I just was a word of mouth girl too. And I still love word of mouth so much, y'all. Social media is amazing, but pretty much all my first clients came from, a lot of people would see my post, and then when I was out and about, they would ask me about it. Like, tell me about this It Works thing you keep posting about, tell me about how you're losing all this weight. And it was just me being vulnerable and sharing, not airing my dirty laundry, but just sharing my daily journey with the products, posting things that would show people that I'm being, honest and open and truthful about it. Stepped on the scale today and I'm down 2 more pounds, or, just talking about walking around the college campus and having more energy because of my greens, small things like that where people could actually follow my journey and not just advertisement posts for the products, if that makes sense. So people were messaging me, and I feel like a lot of my posts, and to this day, they still aren't really, asking people, text this number, blah, blah, blah. Or comment below for information, which I do those, but a lot of the ones where I'm just sharing my love for the products, my love for the business, are more of the ones that get people interested. I feel like those are a lot of the ones where people, they'll be curious because my posts are a little mysterious. And so they'll reach out to me a lot of times. And so that's how I grew it a lot in the beginning. And as far as customers, another thing that I've always done is, like, every time I go out to eat, I put my fat fighters on the table. And so I literally would sign like my coworkers and friends and stuff just by pulling out my fat fighters at dinner. And they'd be like, what is that? Because we're sitting here eating tacos and I'm taking my fat fighters after, and they're wishing they had some fat fighters too. So very much, word of mouth, face to face, always keeping my ears open, which I am to this day. Anytime, how often do you hear people say, oh, I'm so stressed out, or, I need to lose weight. People talk about themselves all the time if you just keep your ears open. So that's another way that I've always grown my business. As far as distributors, my journey was different than a lot of people's, and I hope that I can encourage y'all with this, that to not give up, because I actually did not go executive for 5 months, and then my 6th month I went Ruby.
Sydney, tell us, who did you join with? Who did you say you joined with? Like a friend?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Actually, it's a funny story. The girl who rapped me, I didn't even join with her.
Okay.
Yeah, she never really even asked me to be on her team, I don't think. Okay. But then somebody else came and kind of like scooped me up, and she was messaging me and following up with me and, answering my questions and stuff. So I ended up joining with someone else. But yeah, I'm in Susan Wade's downline.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm familiar with her.
Somebody on social media, like, that you saw, basically like a friend or acquaintance. So you'd been wrapped, and then you saw someone else posting, and then they started kind of reaching out.
Yes. And so it's so important when you wrap somebody, or when you talk to somebody about the products or whatever, follow up with them, because if you don't, y'all, I have made this mistake before. I cannot tell you how many times I followed up with somebody after several months, and they've been like, oh, well, I ended up joining with, so-and-so. And I'm like, you are kidding me. Like, why did I do that? I'm happy that you joined, but like, why did I let you go like that? So I guess that's kind of what happened with me. And yeah, so as far as me starting to grow my team, I have always just followed up with my loyal customers and made sure that they're loving their products. Do we need to add something to your shipment this month? Are we getting the results that we need? Maybe we need to tweak a couple products, add probiotic in there if, you're not losing the weight as quickly, different things like that. And so, with that, they become more interested in the business and what I do, because they could tell that, I care. And, I will offer the business opportunity, especially to ones, is someone asking a question? Someone raised their hand. I don't know.
They probably didn't mean to know what they did. Yeah.
Okay. Where the heck was I? What was I saying?
Well, tell us about, you were telling us, I like that you follow up with your loyal customers, but I really wanted to hear too, you said you joined, and then in 5 months you went executive.
Yes. Okay. I'm like, my brain is all over the place tonight.
It's all good.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at is, so following up with my loyal customers, a lot of them ended up eventually becoming distributors after a couple months. Or, another thing that I did to start growing my team is I always got people in front of me. So anytime I reach out to somebody on Facebook about wanting them on my team, or they reach out to me, I never really gave them any information online. And I would say this was probably more of my warm market, because now I'm building on social media where I can't necessarily meet up with people. Although I do FaceTime sometimes. But I would get them in front of me. I would give them the bare minimal information. I'd say, hey, let's meet up for coffee. And then I'd say, does this day or this day work for you? And so I did lots of, one-on-one meetings, and I knew that if I could get them in front of me, there was no way they were going to turn down this opportunity, because they can see my excitement, they can hear my voice, and literally all I would take with me is the party pad and a catalog, which our business tools are a little different now. But now when I meet up with somebody, I'll just pull up my website or whatever. And to this day, I'm still really big on them hearing my voice. I'm sure that y'all do voice memos and things like that too. But yeah, so my 5th month in, I went executive. And just to kind of give y'all a little bit of encouragement, we don't always hit goals the month that we say we're going to, or that we wish we had. And so it was July of 2014 when I joined. And I remember in October, Mark was like, anybody who goes diamond by the end of December is going to get a $10,000 bonus. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got this. And I was a distributor at the time. And so that was in October. And, I started putting it out all over the place. I'm going diamond by December 30th or 31st, however many days in December, I think there's 31. I'm getting a $10,000 bonus, average $2,000 a month. And so I start posting this all over the place and believing that, it's going to happen. I did not go diamond in December, but I did go executive in Ruby. And I truly think that's because I that fire was lit, and I started posting about my goals. And people will follow someone who knows where they're going. So me showing people, this is what I'm doing with this company. I believe in this. Y'all, post your goals, talk about where you're going. Because I tell my team this all the time, how often do you see people join direct sales companies on social media and they post about it for a week or a month and then they're gone? And so especially when we're newer in this business, and share this with your newbies too, because this is just so true. When we're newer in this business, people think we're going to do the same thing. They're like, okay, give it a week and she'll be done. Give it a month and she'll be done. And so I truly think when I started posting like, look, y'all, I am serious about this. I'm going diamond. I'm doing this and this. I did go executive in Ruby. And so I did not get the $10,000 bonus, but then the very next month I went to my first conference, and Mark said, anyone who goes diamond by March 31st gets a double get out of debt bonus. So he doubled it, and I ended up getting a $20,000 bonus instead of a $10,000. So our commissions and our money is like, our residual income is insane outside of bonuses, y'all, just to say that. But it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't promote when I wanted to. And had I given up and just been like, well, this sucks, like, I'm going to quit, like, I wouldn't have gotten that bonus, And so within my first 6 months in the business, I went from obviously $0 a month as a brand new distributor to around $600 a month as a Ruby. And then within the next 6 months, I went from Ruby to Emerald to Diamond to double. So I went from about $600 to $6,000 a month. So y'all, that's how quickly things can happen in this business if you just don't give up and if you just plant those seeds.
I love that. I want to stop. So, that's huge, Sydney, because first of all, so many times people join and and I feel like I don't know why, I feel like I've seen it more now than ever, but it's like everybody wants like instant. And yeah, like there's people that join and go Ruby their first month, or, it happens instant, but it's like you joined and in 5 months, go executive, and then you go Ruby in 6 months. But imagine had you been like, this is taking too long. Because a lot of times Ruby, it's like, well, okay, we know the average Ruby is 500, which means you've got some Rubies making 200. You probably have some Rubies making 600. It's an average. So you've got it all that, the average is that. So I can't tell you the number of time where people are like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the 200 a month for the work. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's not. But imagine had you stopped, because the thing is you don't want to stay there. So going from there, maybe, that 300 isn't worth it, but is that 3,000 worth it? Is the 6,000 worth it? And you're looking at somebody that said, okay, it took me 5 months to go executive. And now she's making, 6 figures a year doing this business at 24 because she didn't stop, and I love what you said too about the bonus. Like, you have to have goals that you're going for. You're going to hit some of your goals. You're going to miss some of your goals. But do you think she was bummed? Oh man, I'm bummed I went for diamond and didn't hit it, because she at least ended up Ruby. She's like, she ended up Ruby though. She was that much closer. And had she stopped, then when Mark announced, new bonuses and then doubled the bonus, had she not been going, she would have never gotten that. So you've got to think of this business more long-term. I think so many people join a week. Oh, I didn't sign up everybody that I asked. I want to quit. But it's like, what business is like that? Like, start planting, And so let me ask you this though. So you did go Ruby in 6 months. And so what did you do like specifically when you first joined? So it's like, I know you said, you used a lot of Facebook, you met up with people. So were you asking people to join your team or you so tell us a little bit about what you were doing and then tell us what you do now. I want to hear both.
Yeah, for sure. Well, honestly, I don't feel like I talk to people any differently now than I did back then. The only thing different with social media is algorithms and what I post. Like I used to be able to post tons of belly pictures and it'd be fine, but now I have to post more pictures of me and then post my, belly pictures in the comments on Facebook or whatever. But y'all, I'm just so not scripty. Like I wish that I could sit here and be like, oh, this is the magic message, but I'm just me. And like, I think that's just who you need to be. And so my message, if I see somebody on Facebook that I want on my team, I will tell them exactly why I want them on my team. And I think the most important thing is just to be confident in what you or have to offer. Don't go into it being scared and timid and being like, like, would you possibly maybe like some info? Like, hey girl, oh my gosh, I've been following you or, whatever. And I think you would be so great at what I do because you're so outgoing and positive. Can I tell you how I make money from my phone? Like, and most of the time people aren't going to turn down information. But if you say, hey, would you be interested in working from your phone? They're going to be like, I'm not signing up for anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But, I always try to like end it with like would you be open to some more info or something like that? And then if it was somebody in my area, I'd say, look, let's meet up and talk about this. And that's still what I do to this day. Like even with my follow-ups, like I'm not scripty. I'm literally just like, hey girl, I've been thinking about you. I know you're going to love the cleanse so much. Is today a good day to get your order in? Like, I wish I had like, a magic script, but I don't. And that's, it's pretty much the same thing.
I love that. Okay. No, that's great. So then tell us kind of like for you, what's like your 6 list or what's your like non-negotiables? Like what are those things that you do every day just so we can hear like, how many people are you adding or how many people are you messaging or, what are you using? Tell us kind of about that.
Yeah, for sure. So it's kind of changed lately because I've kind of been playing around with Instagram and seeing what works best. But I mean, definitely every single day posting. I've noticed that making my posts less worksy and making them more about me and then kind of throwing in it works every here and there, like talking about, because I'm a dog mom, what I'm doing with my dog today. We're at the park and I'm so thankful that I can work from anywhere, and then not really giving too much information. That's when that mystery is there. So people, reach out to me. And so anyway, I'm getting off track, but posting for sure. I post on my stories every single day on Instagram. Most of my customers and distributors come from my stories now. I was doing a poll on my story every single day, but I realized that my votes started going way down as I was doing that. So I'll do one about maybe twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week now. And then of course, message those people. So post, message, following new people, growing my network. I just use the app Captivate for Instagram and then following up. That's it. Over those 4 things over and over and over.
I love that. So do you have like a number of people that you're like, okay, I want to send X messages a day asking people about, trying a product or trying the business, or do you just kind of whatever you're feeling?
Yeah. Some days I'll sit there and I'll send 100 or so messages. Some days, I'll just go to my votes on my poll and I may have gotten 100 votes that day. So I'm messaging those people. I try to message around
100 a day.
Yeah. But some days I don't have time to do that. So maybe I'll do 40 or 50 or, whatever, but every day I'm reaching out to people. Yeah.
Okay. So every day. No, I love that. So you're doing that. And then tell me, what about, when it comes to you sign somebody, so did you make Surf and Turf, right, Sydney? Yeah. So Sydney was okay, you guys, y'all. She was one of the winners, which means she had the most personally enrolled emeralds during the Surf and Turf contest, which is huge because it means it's one thing to sign a lot of people, and what I've learned is there's people in this business that can mass sign, but it's really another thing to be able to take people and teach them to go emerald and teach them to go ruby and teach them to go executive. Because it's like, I don't want to sign 100 people or 50 people in a month and have them all quit the next month. But and so you have to be able to do both, which I know, Sydney, you're a high enroller as well. So tell us this: when somebody joins your team, and there might be some newbies on our Zoom tonight. So someone joins, what are those things you do to get them going? Like, what are the first goals, or how do you kind of, launch somebody new that joins your team?
Yeah. So again, I'm so simple, y'all. I feel like the more simple things are, the more duplicatable, if that's a word, it can be for, me to teach it to my team, then them teach it to theirs, and so on and so forth. So the very first thing that, I do when someone joins is, obviously, I'm so excited for them. Like, this has changed my life. So I'm stoked for them. And I ask them about their goals. Do you want to make a couple extra hundred a month? If we haven't already talked about this, or do you want to get rich? Some people join this business to get rich, and then that kind of gives me an idea of what they truly want to get out of this, and kind of how much I need to check in on them and stuff like that. And then I just add them to our team page, and we have just a little startup post with, verbiage and, how to work eSuite and stuff like that. So, and then we just immediately, like, I'm talking probably within the first hour, we start working on getting their 4 loyals. And I just let them know, you're going to get a $100 bonus. And I send them out a little sample message of, what to say. And I say, send this to all your friends and family. Try to send it to at least 30 or 40 people if you can. And it's literally just like, if I can think of it, like, hey, so-and-so, I just, started my own health and wellness business. I now offer over 50 plant-based products that are amazing. I'm looking for my first 4 product testimonials. Would you be interested in helping me out? I could give you a big discount. Can I give you a little information about it? Something so simple like that. And usually they'll get, since they're sending it to their friends and family, they'll get, several good responses. Some people don't get as many good responses. And so if they don't, then we head right to Instagram and Facebook. And so if you're new and, your friends and family aren't super supportive yet, then good news is you have a whole world out there of people. So we, focus on their 4, and I go ahead and send them the response for the people who say yes. And so basically the response is just like, awesome, thank you so much. I'll share a couple of our most popular products, and just let me know what you're interested in. And so I have them name like around 4 or 5 different products. And so they're things that are completely different than each other. So we're not going to name like Fat Fighters, Thermophyte, Greens, Probiotic. We're going to name like, Compiens that help with anti-stress, the wraps that tighten from your body, triple threat weight loss. And I always include the triple threat weight loss package, just because it's a bigger package, and they need, they're going to get better results if they use all those rather than me just saying Thermophyte, So I'm giving like 5 different products. I always include the cleanse and the hair, skin, nails. Like I said, I want it to be a variety of products for, for whatever need that they may have. And then I go ahead and I actually have a note in my phone of all of my short product descriptions. So I already have something typed up for the cleanse. I already have something typed up for HSN, for like every product that I sell over and over. And I send that to my new distributors. And I say, feel free to go ahead and save this to the notes in your phone. When someone responds to that second message after they've said yes, and you've given them the options of our most popular products, and they'll probably come back and say, I'd be interested in the cleanse. Whatever they say they're interested in, I want you to go ahead and just send them the brief description for that product. And then I guarantee they're probably going to come back and ask how much it is. And then I say, this is how, this is how you explain the pricing. And the way that I explain the loyal customer program is literally exactly how I've done it since the beginning of my business. I changed it up for a little while, and I feel like it didn't even work as well. And so I went back to how I did it when I first joined, and it's literally just, for example, the cleanse is, oh my gosh, it's 65 or 60, 65. The cleanse is $65 retail, or only $36 as a loyal customer. As a loyal, all you do is agree to get at least 1 product of your choice the following 2 months as well, and you get access to my discount for life. Does that work for you? And so them going ahead and explaining that very briefly, and then just throwing in, does that work for you, or does that sound good? That's kind of giving that sense of urgency, like, okay, does that work for you? I'm going to go ahead and get your order in. Because people are skeptical and nervous, to spend money on different things. And so when they say that, it kind of, pushes the process along, because we know they're going to love the products if we can get them to order. So then from there, they usually will say, yeah, that sounds great or whatever. And I go ahead and send my newbies the list of the 3 different ways that we can enroll a customer, which is on eSuite or on your It Works website or on the app. And so they know everything from the get-go. And it sounds like a lot, but it's really not even that much that I send them. It's like, I guess, 1 note, 3 messages, and that's it pretty much. And then the how to enroll LC.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, and it's, your message sounds super similar to the one that we like, that I like share with our team to use, but maybe I'll do yours and I'll give you mine and we can see, but it's very similar. And I love that. And I agree. I think that the best thing, like one of the best things you said is you tell them, I want you to send this message to 30, 40 people. And then, yeah, maybe all 40 are going to tell you no. But what I find is most of the time, people don't message 30, 40. You join and like you want to send out 5 messages and you're upset that 5 people said no. But it's like that it all has to do with that ratio. It's like if I ask 5 people, I would probably have signed 0 loyal customer. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be scared to make that list, ask that warm market. And then, yeah, if they say no, you move on to Facebook, Instagram. Okay, so tell us this now, because I'm all about, like, I think, why not be a hybrid? Why not tap into the network you have, tap into that warm market, this relationship you have. You have a whole Facebook of friends you were friends with before this business. So you've got all of them. And yes, why not expand and new? And I think Instagram's great and adding people as well. So when it comes to, reaching out to people on Instagram, Sydney, I know a lot of times I have people ask me, do you just do like who's viewing your polls, who's liking your stuff? How do you decide, who is it? Just, well, I think they'd be good. How do you decide who to message? And do you like to send more messages about products, about the business, or both?
Yeah, so typically I enroll a lot more loyals than I do distributors.
Okay.
Just because I want to make sure that I like to enroll a lot of distributors, but I also want to make sure that I'm enrolling the amount that I can take care of and teach them how to get their customers, So when I am messaging, like I said, I've been doing a lot of messaging just for my polls lately, but I'll also, go to my likes on my photos on Instagram. But then I also will message my followers. And so what I do is I kind of just like scroll down in my followers. And because to me, I'm posting about my business and they're following me. So if I'm following a boutique, I'm interested in their clothes, or like I'm not certainly not bothered by them. So if they were to message me, that definitely wouldn't bother me, So they're following me. So I kind of take that as a green light just to see if they're interested, and so I'll kind of just scroll down and I'll just start, I'll pick one person and I always look at profiles. I'm going to make sure someone's not already with It Works, obviously, not with another company, because I don't want people from other companies messaging me about their product, if I'm being honest. So, as long as they're not either of those things, then I'll just send them a message about the products, kind of similar to the message that I explained to y'all for my new distributors. And then as I'm going through people messaging, if I come across anyone who has, a lot of followers, and I'm not talking like they're like a celebrity and have like 30,000 followers or something, like people who have like around 1,000 followers or so, or, maybe they seem similar to me. Maybe I can tell they're outgoing, or they take, nice pictures. They care about their social media, whatever it may be that strikes me that, makes me think they may be good at this business. Then I'll just send them, like I said earlier, just a little personal message of, hey girl, here's why I think you'd be great at this. Would you be open to some info? And a lot of times people don't respond. A lot of times they do. We just have to plant the seeds and then pray that God, sprouts the right ones. So that's it.
I love that. And I think that's true. Like if somebody's following you, like that's an invitation. Cause a lot of times I get asked a lot, well, should I, cold message or this or that? And it's like, if somebody is following you or they're liking or they're viewing your stuff, like that's not a cool, I don't know if you call it a cold message or not, but I'm like, to me, that's like an invitation. Go for it. Do it. Yeah. It's not like you're messaging somebody that you have like 0 interaction with, and so I love that. Okay. So then what would you say to somebody this month, like that's, going for a promotion, and there's so many promotions out there, with like or there's so many bonuses out there, but and there anybody can promote. So whether, you're going for Ruby, maybe you're eligible for the Ruby bonus, or you're going for Emerald or Diamond, like what would be like a tip for like something that's like, okay, there's about half the month left, I'm really trying to go Ruby, what would you say?
So I always tell my team, and I do this myself, but plan out your goals. So if you know how much time you have left and you know what you need to get done in this amount of time, then, okay, let's break that down. If there's 2 weeks left in the month, what do I need to get done each week? And well, you don't want to really count the last couple of days of the month because those can be a little stressful to promote. We always try to promote a couple of days before. But, and then what do I need to do each day? And don't go to sleep until you get that done, y'all. I can't tell you. I mean, the months that I promoted that I literally just have not slept except maybe a couple hours a night, but it was worth it to get that promotion. But Cami always says, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So go ahead right now and plan out your work for the rest of the month. Separate that into goals. And then if you have a team under you already, separate, and help them do the same with their goals. And one thing that has always helped us, which I don't know, Sherry Lynn, if like you teach this or not with charting, but one thing that we do is we break down the charts and we have, say you're shooting for Diamond this month. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this. We're helping fill the volume. We're helping the distributors directly under us to fill their volume. And then the Emeralds are helping the ones on their top line to fill their volume. And then the Rubies are helping the ones under them. So those 400 boxes under you. So everyone's essentially only working on helping 2 people fill their volume. So I don't know if that's how you teach it or not.
No, I think that's great. I'm always like, break it down, who, is that, if you have, a distributor and maybe they're not working, well, then, someone's got to, be filling there. Or if they are, how do you work with them? So yeah, I've actually never heard it said like you just said it, but I love that. Like,
yeah, I got that from Courtney Lavey, and I was like, that makes so much sense. So literally everyone's just working on two people. That's 800 volume per promotion box, except for the Diamond is going to have 3 on their top line. So like, do you think you could do that? Heck yes, you can do that. Even if you're going Ruby and your executive isn't working, that's only possibly 1,600 volume. You can do that. Okay. Like, let's get some systems in there. You can do that.
Yeah, no, I think that's genius. I've never heard it said like that, but that makes sense. So no, I love that. So good. Okay. And then what would you say, I think this was the last question. What would you say is like, one of your biggest like aha moments in the business, or something that was just like a wake up call, or either an aha or something that maybe you wish you would have known at the beginning, but you found out later that was just really business changing, anything like that just sticks out?
I know you're supposed to have an aha ready at all times.
No, you're not. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an aha. It could even just be something that you're like, oh, when that light bulb clicked,
Okay.
You wish someone would have told you at the beginning, your first year
in. You know what? Yeah, this isn't necessarily an aha, but I think that I wish that someone would have told me to always just have fun with this, y'all. It has gotten to a point in my business where, like I said, I didn't go executive for 5 months. I didn't go Ruby for 6 months. And I didn't care because I wasn't comparing my timeline to other people's. I wasn't, worried about that. I was just truly having fun, and I was loving these products. I was loving sharing them with people. And it was fun to me. And, while this business does, like, you do have to treat it as a business and not a hobby if you really want to get to the top. But I wish that, because there have been seasons where I will say I turned this a little too much into a job, and I wish that I could go back and just take the stress off of it and just really trust God and just have fun, because if you are working from a place of fear and stress and, oh my gosh, if I don't promote them, this is going to happen and blah, 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 like, your potentials feel that, your team can feel that. People feel pressured by you, and you will have much happy customers and teammates if they can tell that you are recruiting them from a place of love and excitement versus a place of stress and fear and worry. Does that make sense? So like, if you aren't worrying and stressing about your business, you're working hard, but then you're just handing it to God and just saying, Lord, like, I'm planting these seeds. Please just harvest them for me. Lord, you water them for me. You do the work in the background for me. I'm going to do my part by planting them and following up, sharing my love for this company. but I give this to you, then like, that's that, you know? And so then you can work from a place of excitement. You can work from a place of, I know where I'm going, you know, it may not be on the exact timeline that I want it to happen, but I'm going to work as if it's going to happen this month, and God's going to do the rest. And your team's going to feel that, your potentials are going to feel that, and you're just going to have like, it's just going to be such a better experience all around.
Oh, I love that. So good. Oh, thank you, Sydney, so much for sharing. And
Yes, thanks for having me.
so many good notes and things. I've got some stuff written down. I love that. Well, yes, thank you for just taking the time, and we're proud of you, girl, and cheering you on. I know you're not stopping here. Next stop, Ambassador. And that's going to be so fun seeing Surf and Turf and all of that. Man, I know, I'm sad. I really wanted to go to green carpet, but like my doctor totally would not give me the okay.
No, we will miss you though. We'll miss your energy on the stage.
So John's gonna go for like, he'll be there for like half of it, and then he'll be at the ranch for the Mandare Ranch Day. So I'm like,
oh, good.
I'll be watching all the fun pictures and boohooing that I have FOMO over here, but it's gonna be awesome. So, okay, team. Well, thank you. I'll get this recording up. And, you know, I love mid-month because there's still half the month left, you know, half the month to continue to crush those goals. I love what Sydney said about what is it that you need, coming up with a game plan, deciding to do that every day. If you do that, you can reach those goals. If you wait till the last 3 days of the month, you're not going to, you know. So decide now where you're going, game plan, do it. And I love it. Okay, thanks, you guys. Thanks, Sydney. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.